Hey there, sister friends. Welcome back to today's lesson number 5. It's the last lesson in the LEAP, first, the letter L in our LEAP framework. And it, I believe, is the meatiest lesson because, well, we're dealing with letting the mess go. And so it's going to be the meatiest thing. And today's topic for this lesson, we're going to dig into, I believe, a pivotal thing that's pivotal to our growth, and that is taking active steps towards forgiveness. Now, I know the idea of forgiveness can stir up a whirlwind of emotions, but that's why we're here together to navigate, to understand, and to immerse ourselves into the transforming power of genuine forgiveness. So, why do we need to do this, Tesha? Because listen, forgiveness isn't just a word. It's a liberating action. It's a divine directive, and it's the bridge to peace. So by the end of today, not only will you be able to be equipped with the tools to forgive, but also the spiritual wisdom to understand the depth of forgiveness. And so let's go ahead and take this leap together. So reflecting on our last lesson where we talked about the act of journaling and the immense power of reflection, it led us to confront our feelings and understand the gravity of forgiveness. In Colossians 3:13, we bear with each other and forgive one another. If you have any grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. This divine wisdom, sisters, is a call to action. It's a call to action. It urges us to release not just for others, but for our own souls. The journey of forgiveness, it involves various people. It involves circumstances in our lives. And I got some examples of some people that or entities that you might need to forgive and why. So number one, the parents. Yes, the parents. Childhood experiences play a significant role in shaping our adulthood. And some people harbor resentments or unresolved emotions towards their parents for unmet expectations or misunderstandings or even deeper hurts. Siblings. So being close in age, and growing up together can lead to competition, jealousies, misunderstandings. And when they're not addressed, they linger into adulthood. I've seen some things. Ex-partners, ex-spouses. So heartbreak, betrayal, or simply growing apart can create wounds. And forgiving ex-partners can be significant step in healing and moving forward. Friendships can sometimes be tested, leading to feelings of betrayal, disappointment, and misunderstandings. How about colleagues and bosses? That's a big one, and I don't think people, really think about colleagues and bosses. But professional environments can breed competition, jealousy, or feelings of being undervalued or overlooked, and forgiving can make the workplace more harmonious, more together, more peaceful. How about bullies or those who have harmed you in the past? This could be one of the toughest ones to forgive, whether it's someone from school years or from some social context that you have had. Letting go of the anger and the hurt can be a profound healing experience for you. How about institutions or groups? Sometimes our grievances may not be with an individual, but it may be with an institution like a school or church or a group that we feel that have wronged us or failed us. There's a whole list we can go through, but I'm not going to do that. So, but you have to, think about those things for yourself. How about absent figures, like people who weren't there when you needed them, like an absent parent or an absent friend, who walked away during a tough time or who wasn't there for your soccer games or your football games, and you've been holding that thing on and you got to let that go. Children, for the parents that have children or grandchildren, as they grow, they make their own decisions. And sometimes those choices hurt, and those choices, they disappoint the parents or the grandparents. So forgiving them fosters a loving and open relationship. And last but definitely not least is yourself. Often we are our harshest critic. And it might be for the past mistakes, the missed opportunities, or the perceived failures, especially as we get older. I joke, I say, I got more years behind me than I have in front of me. Okay. So what didn't I accomplish? Well, whatever those things are, I can't hold on to those things, right? You can't hold on to those things. You got to forgive yourself for the things that you perceive to be failures. Forgiving ourselves is crucial because it paves the way for inner peace and growth. Including yourself in this list, it kind of emphasizes the importance of having some self-compassion. Sometimes the hurt we inflict on ourselves, either through critical self-talk or holding on to guilt and shame, it can be damaging. It's more damaging than those that come from other places or other people. The whole list that we went off, it's more damaging than that. It's more damaging than that. Sometimes the hurts so basically, forgiving oneself is a true testimony to understanding human perfection and the belief in personal growth and redemption. And when you are able to forgive yourself, you are more able to forgive other people. So how do we do this act of forgiveness? How do we do this act? Well, I found a unique way to help walk us through the process of forgiveness in the exercise, the forgiveness letter. And so this is actually in your workbook there. You can go down to, I'm trying to find it here, lesson number 5 in your workbook. And when you do that, you'll see the steps for the forgiveness letter. And I am going to walk you through that, okay? I am going to walk you through that. All right, so in the forgiveness letter, just imagine pouring all of those complex emotions into a vessel, and that you're gently going to set it afloat. And that is the power of the forgiveness letter. You're going to write it to someone you seek to forgive, or maybe to your past self. I don't want you to hold back. I want you to let the pain, let the love, let the confusion, let it all flow. But remember to end on a note of liberation. Remember that you don't have to send this letter off to anyone. It's your own personal testament of release. Okay, so let's walk through the activity, but remind you of a scripture in Ephesians. It says, get rid of all the bitterness, the rage, and the anger. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other as Christ forgave you. You see the theme here because we keep repeating this often. This letter is your intimate space to release, to heal, and to step closer to that divine grace. So step number 1, you're going to, of course, prepare your heart and your mind. What does that mean? Well, before any writing, what do? We get into a quiet space where you can be alone with your thoughts, where you can pray, you can meditate, just breathe deeply, asking God to come into this moment. Now, if you ain't asked God in no other moments, you want to ask him in this one to come into this moment with you and to guide your words and your hearts, because you're going to let it go. And it may bring up some things for you. So you also may want to get some tissue and things, but don't be afraid of the emotions. Now is the time. Now is the time for you to express those things so that you can get them out and that you can release them and let them go. The next step is that you're really going to address the letter to a person. So you're going to start out with, dear so-and-so, or to my younger self, okay? And then the third thing is you're going to express your feelings. So be honest, be vulnerable, describe the event, describe the situation that hurt you. How did you feel then? How does it affect you now? When this happened, I felt. Remember that. When this happened, I felt. And then you're going to write down, and this is the most important part of this letter, is stating your decision to forgive. So you're going to articulate your genuine intent to let go of the grudge, to let go of the pain. Remember that forgiveness isn't about condoning the act, but it's about freeing your heart. So an example of that is, today I choose to forgive you for. Okay. Today I choose. It's a choice, sisters. It's a choice. I choose to forgive you for this. And then step 5 is really reflecting on any growth and understanding or strength that emerged from the experience. This isn't about being thankful for the hurt, but acknowledging any transformations that happen. So, for example, from this experience, I learned. And you can use subsequent papers to do that. The next step is to talk about the hope for the future. So this could be a hope for your personal growth, a hope for the other person's growth, a hope for your relationship with them. I hope that moving forward, I can, right? Whatever feels authentic to you. And then the last here, you may have run out of space. That's why I said the next one, but you close the letter. So you're going to sign off in a way that is most appropriate and sincere to you. This could be with love. This could be with hope. This could be with peace, right? So with love and grace, Tesha, okay? And then the last piece, and one of another most important pieces, is to reflect and pray. So once you finish writing your letter, take a few moments to reflect on the words that you wrote. And you can pray and ask God to guide you on the continued journey of forgiveness, of healing, and of growth. Remember, sister friends, that this letter is for you. Now, whether or not you decide to share it or keep it, that's up to you, but it's your personal testament. Its real power lies in the process and the intention behind it. It's a testament to your strength, your grace, and the love of God that God has for you. And so we want to continue this journey hand in hand. We're leaning on the grace of God in order to get through these moments. I want you to remember that forgiveness isn't a one-off act. It's a continuous journey. So the essence of committing to the transformation process of forgiveness is similar to tending a garden. You have to regularly water it. You got to weed it out, right? You got to take out all the things that are not wanted. You got to nurture every blossom and every time resentment, because this is why these are strategies, because things come, life happens, life be lifing, as I say. And so every time resentment creeps in, you're going to remember in the book of Matthew that says not 7 times, but 70 times 7, right? It's a lifelong commitment to peace and to grace. And as we transition to the end of the lesson and this part of the framework, it's about moving forward and embracing a fresh start. So once you walk the path of forgiveness, there's a newfound lightness. There's an exhilarating sense of starting fresh, of starting new. Just like after a stormy night, the dawn of the new day is a lot more beautiful after a storm. And so it is with every act of forgiveness. You're not just setting other people free, you're releasing your soul to dance in that newfound freedom. Remember that when we cling to our past hurts, regrets, and resentments, that we're not just carrying emotional and spiritual burdens. These deep-seated emotions have a way of seeping into our finances too. You ever notice how emotional turmoil can lead us to make impulsive purchases? or how resentment keeps us from investing in opportunities because we don't feel like we're worthy. The Bible reminds us that those who trust in their riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf. Sisters, when we are burdened by the weight of the past, it's akin to trusting in those riches. It's placing the trust in the tangible, in the worldly things, rather than the abundant blessings that God has in store for us. So when we release and let them go, we create a space for blessings, a space for growth, and a space for prosperity. Money and wealth aren't just about numbers in the bank account. They are linked together to our mindset and our spirit. And as we unshackle ourselves from the chains of the past, we position ourselves for financial blessings and for prosperity. A heart free from burdens is more discerning, is more wise in their decisions, and is more open to opportunities that God places in our path. So as we take our next steps, I want to urge each of you to truly let go. And in doing that, you're not just setting your hearts free, but you're also paving the way to walk in true prosperity, a prosperity that enriches not just our pocketbooks, but enriches our souls, enriches our relationships and our lives. And I'm so excited as to where this leads us as we go on to our next phase, and we're going to embrace. The next step is embrace. So this is Sister Tesha signing out, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Be blessed, be fruitful, and multiply.